Today's the day we're going to be taking off all of the accessories and getting this boat ready to get flipped over. So in the first video we asked you guys for suggestions for the name of this boat. We're going to be changing it obviously from Tiger 3 and so far the best comment is this one right here. Now if you guys have any other suggestions for the boat name, we'd love to mull them over, but so far this one's definitely winning. So if you guys have any more ideas, please drop them in the comments because this is gonna go goodbye. So today we're gonna be taking off all of the trim on the boat. It includes the lifting points, all of the little trim pieces, and we're gonna get this thing ready to get flipped over. Obviously the windshield will have to come out, possibly the steering wheel. We'll have to see. It doesn't stick that far up from here, but it's a good possibility we might take that out just to be safe. And then obviously we're going to be pulling out the engine as well. So we'll start off by taking off the lifting rings. These are a little bit of a pain, they get seized sometimes. So you have to actually unscrew them. But the threading can stick down sometimes this far or this far. It's a long rod that comes down to like a triangular metal bracket piece in here. So the rod comes all the way down to here, so it actually supplies a bit of support to the boat when it gets lifted up. So due to that, there is a ton of threading holding this thing in. So there you go. This will thread onto the rod right here, and that rod goes all the ways down to the little triangular spot. But we don't have to take that out, that's fine. We can just rock with this off and go from there. Now the reason we're taking this off, you might be thinking to yourself, well, we have to flip the boat over. What we're actually going to do is we have a hoist set up where we put straps around the front and the back of the boat, and we can actually turn the boat and spin it around. So this is the setup that we use. It's got wheels on it. You can roll it around, move it around wherever you need. It's got some lifting points. But the part that we're talking about right here is this metal bar coming across. You can see it actually goes to bearings that are supported there. You got them on both sides. So what you'll do is put a strap across the top. It'll come down and around like this on the boat. And once it's lifted up in the air, you have those straps secure. You can then twist them and it'll roll the entire boat on its axis. Here's a clip of us doing that to a 1935 Standcraft. So this is pretty cool how this works. This is the rear light post. I'm sure you saw me pull that out earlier. So how it works is you have your ground and then your power. So it'll ground out the case of this piece here. So this will be where your ground sits. And then way down in the bottom, I don't know if you can get that on the camera there. That piece right at the end, that'll be the positive terminal. So you'll have the isolated positive terminal coming through, and that supplies power to that little light post. So we're having some difficulty getting this piece off, but I mean, take a look at this. You should never, ever, ever, ever apply any sort of adhesive to chrome to the deck, because this is what happens. I mean, look at this. This is all dry rot. An unfortunate part now is that we're gonna have to redo a part of this. We can do a little bit of a repair right here. So there is just a little piece that comes up like that. It's not a huge deal, but this is actually 5200 bonding adhesive, so this is what they would use to put the bottom on. So that's a little bit ridiculous. Again, never glue chrome down to the wood deck. So this one's going to come out with the bar. Kind of just depends on wherever they're tighter. So you can take a look at this piece. There's the bar end, and it appears at one point or another this has been tightened down, possibly a little bit too hard, which has kind of reefed this metal rod together. So we'll get the in-house fabricator here to fix up the bar on this one. They're made of pure brass, so they're a little bit heavy, but yeah, they're a good piece of metal. Lots of strength to hold the boat up in the air. So these boats should never have any sort of Robertson screws in the side of them. They came with the Phillips. Now, if you have what you have, that's fine. You want to make it look as nice as you can, but typically these Robertsons are not the screw heads that would be installed on these boats. If we were to do a fancier boat like this one right here, obviously you want to set up all the Phillips quite nice on them. And you can actually see up on the top there too how nice the chrome is on this one. And we'll actually take our time and line the Phillip heads up to make them all appear rather straight on the boat. But you won't find any use of Robertsons on this boat. That's what I'm saying. Well, I guess this broke, so a lot of these logos can break over time, and you have no idea until you disassemble it. It's not the end of the world. This is a rat rod boat. Oh man. That's pretty cool, eh? This is for the rigging, so you'll actually have wires, rope coming through the other side, so you can pull your rigging in and out. That's what all these little pieces are down the side of the boat. It's like kind of like an automatic rigging system, so you just kind of pull the rope and all your little buoys will come up. You can just zoom in on the... Look at these screw heads, man.
Oh, nice. We haven't beat for this screw.
I don't know. Do we have any circle bits? Okay, we're gonna find out if this is adhesive on it. Yep. Look at that. Pulled all the plugs out of the wood. Adhesive all over this. That is not how you do these repairs. If you have a screw that is spinning, it's as simple as cleaning the hole out, putting some wood glue in there, and putting a bamboo skewer in, or epoxy. Don't adhesive your chrome back on with spinning screws. Like, how are you, how are you even supposed to tighten that down? So if you guys are wondering how we're going to put lettering on the back of this, we actually have an in-house pinstriper. I'll tag him in this video. His name's Cue Ball Pinstriping. He's done a ton of work all over Canada. So we're going to get him to letter and put the little logo on the back here. Here he is doing some custom lettering on the back of a 1951 Chris Craft. So we're gonna have him do that to this. So again, if you guys put a comment down below with a cool idea for a name for this boat, yours could be the one that goes on the back of it. So far, Rat Sink is probably our favorite. So yeah, if you have any more suggestions for names, drop them down below. So this is a vent for the gas tank. You can see that it's supposed to have copper with a fitting on it, but instead, looks like somebody has done this and just jam this on there, which it's not the end of the world, it's just a vent, but that's definitely not best practice. You want to make sure you're using the correct equipment for any mechanical stuff like this, because you know, if any sort of vapors from the gas tank start building up inside of this cavity area, that could lead to some problems for sure. So again, we're just trying to show you guys how to get it safe and running, not necessarily fully restored like Concours level, but stuff like this is definitely something you should keep an eye out for. So Arda made a good point. When you're taking off chrome like this and you're doing it by yourself, best practice is to start at one end, work your way to the middle, and then go to the back and work your way to the middle again, so you can grab onto the chrome as you're undoing it. Otherwise you're gonna have a big long piece of chrome fighting you and possibly gouging up the side of the boat once you remove it. So that's what we'll do on this side. Unfortunately, it looks like there is also adhesive on here. You get a close-up of this, you can see that there is adhesive coming out of all of these holes. So unfortunately, with the design of this piece, it has to come off like that, and if it's on both sides, this is going to be a little bit of a fight. So yeah, let's take a look and see what's underneath. This whole thing is adhesive bonded on, so that's going to be fun. Actually, if you look at it, someone's already discovered that this is broken. It's probably why it's on like this to begin with. Let's take a look. Oh man. Oh. Again, we have a fabricator who can repair all of this, but ideally we wouldn't have to deal with this in the first place. Let's just see. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ugh. Okay, I think it's gonna come off. Ooh. Oh boy. So somebody has put lead in the bottom of this in an attempt to weld it together. How I know it's lead is if you zoom in there, you can just see it flaking off. And then of course they put 5200 on it. So if we take a look at the actual boat, you can see the varnish on it, and then you can see how it's been peeled off from the 5200. There's some of it is. You can actually see it's peeled off the electroplating on that piece as well. Now, what's going to stay and what's going to go on this? The planking right here, this is all considered part of the bottom, so this will all get replaced. This bulkhead piece right here, that's the front of the bow, that's going to stay. So this is actually one piece that runs all the ways down along the front of it and transitions into the bottom of the hull side. So it doesn't look too terrible. I was expecting to maybe see some dry rotting and damage like up here, but it doesn't look too bad. I come over to this side. Again, you can see all the varnish that got peeled off there. More of the 5200, but nothing seems like it's been dry rotting or rotting at all. You can actually tell, I know it seems a little funny, just by tapping. If it's a sharp tap, you're good to go. If it's like a dull thud, then there's a bit of rot there. So it seems to be pretty good. I'm a little concerned that we're gonna not be able to restore this just due to the fact that there is like a pile of lead in this. That's pretty bad. So worst case scenario, like I said, our fabricator can actually reproduce these. We've made a couple of them brand new. So to do that, we would just replicate these two pieces, get some stainless steel, TIG weld it, round it out, smooth it out, and yeah, it'll come out looking brand new. So that's our boat with most of the trim removed. We only have a couple of pieces left. That would include these 2 vents as well as these 2 vents. And to remove those, you have to get up underneath, and there'll be a couple of bolts sticking through the bottom with some nuts. So we'll do that next. So the fasteners on the bottom of this, no surprise at all, are completely mismatched and wrong. This one's actually missing right here. This one's loose, and that's not supposed to be Phillips. So lots of improper hardware on this one. So the point of these little vents is as you're driving the boat along, air is going to be pushed down in through here. It'll come down through the sides, underneath the ceiling panels, underneath the floorboards, and then that goes up into the engine bay area. So you have them on both sides there to promote nice airflow inside of this area, so there's lots of air getting in, as well as up front here. You also have air vents as well. Again, that's just to promote lots of airflow through this engine bay area. It keeps all the fumes down, and if you have any sort of leaks or anything, it can also kind of fume out this way, and it doesn't build up down beneath the deck there. So we're just underneath the dashboard and the deck, taking a look at getting those hood scoops off. Now, I want to show you guys the condition of the wiring on a lot of these boats. Typically it's people who haven't had a lot of experience in either automotive or something like that. But I mean, you can see the level of workmanship in a lot of the wiring here. It doesn't mean it won't work. It's just, you know, quite often I like to kind of start from fresh so I know what wires what and that nothing funky is going to be happening. Like for example, something like this. I'm just not a fan of leaving wiring like this. There's no telling what problems it could cause down the road. You can actually see someone's done a lot of modifying on there. That's been quote unquote welded and painted, bolted up to there as well. There's really no telling what you'll find on the wiring. That's for home wiring, the Morettes. I don't approve of using those. It just leads to issues down the road and problems that you have to trace back. So, you know, we'll probably end up redoing most of the wiring in here just for safety concerns and also ease of diagnostics if we have any issues. But just to give you guys an idea, always make sure that you're taking a look at behind the scenes and kind of inspecting everything, because you will be surprised at some of the stuff you find. So taking a look at it now, we have everything off. I think we're definitely going to take that steering wheel out of there. I just don't want to damage this steering wheel. It's in quite good condition for the year that it is. The only real damage on this whole steering wheel being a little bit of a break right here. But I want to do everything I can to save this. It just goes so beautifully with that dash. So I'm going to show you guys how to get this wheel off now. Now to get this horn ring off, you're not going to want to pry on any of this. You can see it's really brittle and it will break. So to actually get these off, all you're going to do is hold the steering wheel and take this piece and just slightly twist it like that until it comes loose and pops out. You can see what's holding it on there. So there's the spots, and then there is the rubber that holds it on. So once you twist it to a certain point, it will just naturally pop off. And again, you're not going to be putting any damage into that horn ring. Now, if you have any sort of experience with automotive work, this will seem quite straightforward. But you know, the next step is going to be removing this, and then we'll be pulling the wheel off. Sometimes that requires a special puller, just again, like in the automotive industry, but there is a chance it'll just slide off. So we'll do that next here. There we go, we got the steering wheel off. Everything else is off as well. So that's just gonna do it, guys. Stay tuned. Next time we're going to get that engine pulled out, bring it over to the gantry, and we're gonna see what that looks like. Hopefully get it set up on a cradle. We're thinking of maybe repainting some of it too, and pulling all of this out. So in the meantime, we will see you guys next week.